See how are you all this evening of your time as you create time to exist. In this way, we will begin this evening interaction with the idea of transformation. In this way, you can all begin to recognize that the cycles you have created in your physiological reality will invoke patterns in the material day-to-day experiences that you are creating your lives to be. And now can be seen for many of you who are exploring the idea of the blending of different levels of your consciousness to take place and reflect to you these patterns in the forms of transformations in the ideas, the habits, the patterns, the day-to-day experiences you have lived for so long. You will now understand that many ideas you are experiencing may seem to be being uprooted in your lives, and in this way destabilizing what has always been for you seemingly a foundation upon which you could rely. In this way, recognize it is not so much that you are becoming unstable, but that you are simply recognizing that change is becoming your stability. Because in this way, the idea of the fourth density transformation, the blending of your consciousness, will invoke and create you to be an individual being who always will allow themselves to transform into whatever it is they need to be, to allow themselves to be the idea that they chose to be in this physical material world in which you have chosen to live. Thus, change being the only constant in the universe will become your staple, will become your foundation. You may find at first that because of simply the ideas you are holding on to, the things you have made attachments to, the way you are used to thinking of things, that it may seem at first to be unsettling, upsetting, upside downing in this way, disorientating in this way, confusing. But again, simply recognize that these ideas are only part and parcel of your ability to now consciously realize that you are unlocking from one viewpoint, one reality, one idea of what you think life is all about, and allowing yourself to reorient into new modes of perceiving the idea of what it is to even be a being in physical materiality. All of these concepts in this way, what you have for so long considered the idea of being physically real to be, now you are beginning to understand are all based on assumptions, and that is only one way that you can exist in a physical materiality. All of the ideas that you have for so long held to be the cherished laws of your universe are now being seen to be the agreed upon ideas that you have all decided to experience to create the illusion for the idea that you have all agreed upon in physical reality, because you made the choice to experience limitation. You made the choice to experience the idea of forgetting that you are the creator of your reality, so that you could explore that particular corner, I shall say, of all that is. Because limitation is one of the ways you can experience creation. Now, you are at the end of the cycle of limitation and beginning to create the idea of the recognizing of integration, the blending of all levels of your existence in the embodiment that you now consider yourself to be, this aspect of your soul self upon what you call your physical planet Earth. As you allow yourselves to do so, all of the previously preconceived notions about what reality should be, what you have experienced reality to be, are all finding themselves dissolving like what you call your proverbial house of cards, and in this way laying down a new understanding that everything in your physical materiality is and is becoming as malleable as the reality you perceive in what you call your dream state. Because your physical reality is the product of your dream state, only you have created it in your belief structure to seemingly be a more solidified one. You are dreaming right now. There is no difference between this reality you call physical and any reality you call the idea of your non-physical dream state reality, except that you give yourself the opportunity to create the difference in the definition physical, non-physical. That definition is the only thing that creates there to be a difference. And now many of you are finding that as you are blending and redefining the terms of your reality, recognizing that reality, your physical reality, is not something that exists without you, but is only the product of what you believe your reality to be, you are now allowing yourself to gather to your conscious realization the notion that your physical reality can become anything you desire it to be, anything you imagine it to be. And as such, when you allow yourself to begin to blend the cognition that your dream reality and your physical reality can both come to terms, can be meeting on equal levels within the dimension of your imagination, then many of the ideas you have heretofore considered only to be dreams will become more solid. Many of the ideas you have heretofore only decided to be physical reality and solid will become more dreamlike, more surreal, as you use that terminology, until you allow yourself to know in your conscious awareness that they will both blend within the dimension of your imagination, and in that dimension, everything in your reality that you have for so long desired to be possible is possible, and you can allow yourself to avail yourself of all the probable realities. You will then consciously allow yourself to recognize you are as a being by definition. In this way, in what you call your literature, when it is said in your own words that you are made in the image of the Creator, do not forget that the Creator, that all that is a multi-dimensional idea. And in this way, you are, and every being in creation is made in the image of the Creator in that way, and therefore every being exists on every level, every dimension, every parallelity that there is, and in this way you are simply understanding that all that you are learning about yourselves in the blending of the transformations now taking place is not so much learning anything new, but only remembering more and more and more of all that you already are, existing at all these different levels. You are discovering more of yourself, integrating, owning all of these ideas, and therefore allowing yourself, even while you have created an aspect to exist in physical reality, in owning that cognition, then even the aspect of you that exists in physical reality will create a harmonious, synchronous reflection of that cognition, of the knowledge that you exist on every level, and therefore even in physical reality, you will be able to know that you can live your dreams and create the phrase in your terminology, heaven upon earth. Are you all following along? Yes. In this way, therefore, recognize that all of the transformations you may now see accelerating around you in this way are all symptomatic, so to speak, all part and parcel of the idea of the path you have always desired to be. Do not fear in this way, but should you find yourself fearing, then simply recognize that any fear that comes up for you is simply a message and a messenger bringing you one more piece of the self you have forgotten, so that you can know the totality of your consciousness. Treat your fear as a friend, bringing you more and more and more awareness of all the different portions you have for so long shut out of your reality. Now, when you accept the different pieces that your fear brings to you, then you will no longer fear in that way, in a negative sense, and you will allow all the transformations in your life to take place in a positive effect. You will allow every incident, every situation, every relationship, every opportunity in your life to be representative of the path you chose to be, and not an interruption in it, since you will understand that there is no such thing as an interruption, and that you are not on a path that can be interrupted. You are the path that you are on. You are the path that you are living. You cannot be off of yourself. Everything that you experience in your life is, if you are willing to view it in that way, a part of the path you chose to be. Should you decide to view the situation as negative, then that will automatically bring with it the inability to recognize that the situation is a part of the path, because viewing it from a negative point of view automatically brings with it the definition of forgetting, of limitation, of not allowing yourself to know you are connected, that you are creating every single situation in your lives, and that it all is there for the purpose of serving you, to let you know, to allow you to realize you are the multi-dimensional creators of the reality that you experience, that you are self-empowered, that you have the control, that your lives are what you wish them to be in this way, and you can partake in ecstasy and joy. All of the ideas you have held in your hearts and desire to experience for so long, for now the tens of thousands of your years of counting of the cycle of limitation are at an end, and you are beginning the adventure into yourselves, the recognition and the fruition of all you have ever imagined or dreamed to be possible within this physical reality. For this is, in a sense, the purpose for which you began the exploration and limitation in this physical reality you call your planet Earth. And now you have arrived once again in your reincarnational state to participate in a most joyous reunion, that reunion being the reunion of all portions of yourself. You follow me? Yeah. Sure.